Alright, welcome back to episode 20 of Blacksmithing and Bible Study. It's really been 20 episodes? That's crazy work. 20 weeks. Well, I guess I did start during the school year. Summer's almost over now. Basically, it's halfway over, I think. I don't know. I'll just be yapping. When you come to that, it's episode 20. I don't know now. Why are you smoking? There's nothing here that should be smoking. I don't like that. And my animal wants the dog walk. Hold up 1 second, guys. We'll get to it in a second. Why am I not situated? Fixed it, sorta. It's still gonna wiggle, but ain't much I can do about that. 1 second. It's hot. Turn you down a second. Alright, that'll help with. That's quite warm. I'm not going to mess with that. I don't know why they made it to where the only way to regulate oxygen intake hooks directly to the hot thing. So just, you can't really mess with it. Okay. Alright, so today's topic, let's talk about a name that God was given in the Bible, in the book of Isaiah, that we don't really use in worship. Because it doesn't set the right message. It doesn't give the right media representation of God, if that makes sense. You'll understand in a second. Just trust me. Alright? Take these off. I ain't doing nothing. Okay. So in Isaiah 53, verse 3, Isaiah calls him a man of suffering, or a man of sorrows, acquainted with grief. Alright? Now notice what he calls God here, right? He's talking about Jesus. This is when they're predicting Jesus and what he's going to look like and stuff like that, thousands of years before Jesus is a thing. I'm going to keep my head right here because it blocks the thing. Okay? So, Isaiah here, notice how he doesn't call the Son of God. He doesn't refer to him as this far-off, far-seated, unfeeling decider of judgment, right? That's not what he calls Jesus here. He refers to Jesus as a man of sorrows, who knows grief, who's no stranger to it, right? That's not really how we view God in our daily life, right? We don't view him as someone who can relate to our pain because he's perfect. He shouldn't know the struggles that I know, right? Because he created it all. Why would he live through it? And we see again in John 11:35, that verse, the shortest verse in the Bible, 2 words. All it says is Jesus wept, right? The Son of God, creator of the universe, the great I am, the Alpha and the Omega. He was there at the beginning. The Word was him, and he was with the Word. All things created through him, right? That guy is crying. What? Right? I don't know about you guys, but it baffles me on such a level that he can understand my pain despite what he is, right? But then you have to remember, he was flesh too, just like me and you. He grew up. He was a teenager at one point. He created the universe had pimples. That's a crazy thought. See, he grew up just like me and you. The only difference is he never gave in to temptation. And because he never gave in to that temptation, he sees sin in such a different way than we do, right? Because to us, sin is normalized. So sin dilutes sin. It makes it... Sin in and of itself normalizes sin. I know I just repeated myself here. Getting hot. But, let me read what I wrote down. I was trying to rephrase it because I didn't like the way I had it written. Because sin is so normalized in our lives, we can't see it for what it truly is. It's just like, oh, he's lying, I don't like that, but it's whatever, right? But how Jesus sees it is because he's never done it before, right? It hasn't diluted him. He doesn't have that in his heart. So he sees it as the truly terrible, awful thing that it is. And if you think about it, it truly is the worst thing you could do, right? Because the Bible says that the wages of sin is death. You know how bad something has to be for its only consequence? Well, not only consequence, because, there are consequences in life, too. but for its main consequence to just be that you die, you cease to exist because of it, right? You enter hell, which is the second death, the place of death, right? The absence of God. You chose to live without me, you stay over there, right? It's awful, right? Let me simplify it. So let's say you've got this wonder drug, air quotes over wonder drug, right? That makes life just a little easier. You know, I didn't realize that light I've been trying to wipe away was the microphone on my face this whole time. I was wondering what that was. I kept trying to wipe it away. But okay, so we got this wonder drug that makes life just a little easier, right? Notice I said easier, not a better life, right? Doesn't make your life any better. Doesn't elevate you or anything. You know, there's no reward at the end of this life, right? But the guaranteed side effect is death. Straight up, irreversible death. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Death, right? And that's exactly what sin is. The only difference is Jesus paid that debt. He suffered on the cross for us so that we can pass go collect $200. I know that's not what we're doing, but that way I'm going with the Monopoly theme here, okay? And he did that all voluntarily. That's the cool part for me, is that he didn't have to do that, but he chose to because he loves me and you, right? Because he loves us so deeply, he chose to do that. That's all I got for you. I'm gonna swing the hammer for a little bit. Y'all can stay for that. I should them down over here. Ooh, they're hot still. I threw them down in hopes this dirt would kind of suck up some of the heat. Okay, now let's see about this. How much time I left in the video? 7 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna go past 10. Yeah, that's what I want to do on the camera. It's hot. All right, one final comparison before I leave. So this is what I started with tonight. Something like this, right? That's how far I've come in less than an hour. Go back in there. All right, deuces. See you on the next one.